All right. Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'd like to welcome you to Before the Vision. My name is Darian Willis, and the lady y'all see before you, you can see her name. Her name is Miss Dyann Wiley. I can put some respect on her name, BSNRN. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. So look, what we here for today is to talk about the Zaley Alexander Training Center LLC located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But look, before we get into the reason that you're here, we go do this. I normally do this towards the end of the show, but we want to kind of go ahead and have a little icebreaker, before we get started. So, all right, do you prefer sugar or cheese on grits?
Definitely sugar.
You can't go with the cheese. Now, why you chose the sugar over the cheese?
The cheese is southern. I'm a northern girl, so it's always the sugar for me.
Oh, now you gonna have people booing you and stuff on this show, okay? Okay, and the next question I'm gonna ask you before we get into the meat and potatoes of this conversation. Can you tell us something about yourself that no one else knows about you?
Ooh, that's hard. No, but I am nervous to be on here right now. So
So people who know you, you're not normally a nervous person.
no, I'm definitely a goofy, play around, funny person. So definitely not.
And for those that don't know, this young lady come from a family of hoopers. Now, okay, this is my last question. I told you that was my last question before we got into the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Michigan or Michigan State, and why?
What? Okay, so this one's hard, but it's definitely Michigan State for me. We do have a split family though. I have a cousin who played football at Michigan State and an aunt who played basketball at U of M Ann Arbor. But for me and my kids, we are go green, go white.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. I want to shout you out. This is a loving mother. I really got to show you love for that. So my first question is, what does Black History mean to you?
Black excellence. It just shows from where we come from. So you got to acknowledge the people before us, and for me, that's Black history.
All right, so what motivated you to establish the Zaylee Alexander Learning Center?
So I love nursing. I've been doing it for 11 years now, but I was just tired of working for somebody else. I wanted to reach a community that kind of deferred me in the beginning. It was like, okay, you can't do this, you can't do this. So for little girls that look like me and little girls that don't, and also men. But Zaylee comes from my daughter's middle name, and Alexander is my son's middle name. So this is for my kids again.
All right. So, what are some of the services you provide? For those that are not watching, if you want to go onto our website, it's posted in the caption. It's www.zayleigh, ZAYLEIGH, Alexander, ALEXANDERTC.com. You can actually see some of the services that she provides. But for those that are watching they're not able to actually access the website, what services are you providing for us?
So we're gonna have certified nursing aid. We'll have phlebotomy technician. I'm sorry, EKG technician. We'll have a medication aid and then we'll have medical assistant along with CPR, both BLS and ACLS, and then those in the nursing field or nursing school will do tutoring sessions for entrance exams and just NCLEX prep.
Okay. Now, if you go to their website, this is hands-on healthcare training for your future. So, for people who sign up for your courses, are they going to be able to come in, or will they actually be able to do it online as well?
We'll eventually be able to do both. I'm in the process now, so everything right now will be in house, but I am working on getting some hybrid classes going, so you can stay in your house and get online and learn for the day.
All right. So, once again, like I said, if you go on that website, you can see she has CPR training, and you see people getting certifications and other stuff like that. So, we're going to get back into the questions. Like I said, I know you're a very busy woman and you work 24/7, so we're going to try to go ahead and get you in and out of here. Okay, so who or what does your motivation come from?
It comes from my kids now. I go so hard, and it's like I want to leave something for them. So really, they just They let me go hard. They let me work long hours, crazy hours, in and out of the state of Michigan. Um, so I try to give them whatever they want because they mean the world to me.
Okay. So I know you're in the infant stage of development with your company, but so far, throughout your life with actually working and doing what you do, what are some of the trials and tribulations you have faced being an entrepreneur so far?
I think being black is one, being young is another, and being a female. So all three of those things right now have really like kind of worked against me. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're too young. You shouldn't be doing that." But I don't think that this business has an age on it. You have to have the heart for it, and I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to teach. I'm ready for to be the impact in the community that they need. So that's just been it for me.
Now, for the nature of this particular podcast, I want to kind of ask you to expound on because you said being a black woman and you're also a young black woman. What are some of the things you've seen? I know you say you've had the naysayers saying you too young to do this. So, I asked you, the first question I asked you was about what does black history mean to you? And you know you're a part of it right now with what you're doing.
Hmm.
So, the part about being black, what have you been able to observe?
No one really believes in your vision until you put it on paper and you put it in front of them. Some of my credentials, I had to like put them in front of people like, hey, I'm a bachelor level nurse, I'm in a master's program, I have all these experiences, all these certifications. Like, oh, okay. So when you walk in the door, you say, you don't want to do this risk, take this risk with this young lady. But then when you lay it out, it's like, oh, okay. But I don't want young black girls to have to go through that. Like, you shouldn't have to make it seem like you're less than because you're less than. Okay.
Okay, we having some negative feed, so it's kind of hard for me to understand what you said. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay, now I hear you clearly.
So like I said, so it's really been like when people see me come in, like I have to explain myself and my background and my credentials before they actually give me the chance. I went in for an interview before I opened this school, and I wanted to be the director of someone else's school, and I was turned away because of the color of my skin. There was another young lady that came in right behind me with less experience, less certifications, less everything, and she got the job. So at that point, it just fueled fire for me. Like, hey, it's time to put this out in the world for myself.
Okay, and then you know what's going on within. We have a new president, and have you heard about the equal? How do you feel about that?
It's about to be some mess in my world. Um, so my school will be the very first minority-owned school in this area, especially medical training. I think there's one for young boys. Um, but it's open for everybody. I don't want to. It's not for black people, but it is black people, and I want that to stick with people. So,
And look, Ms. Wiley, I want to make sure everyone hears what you're saying. Like, say, I'm getting that feed again, so it wasn't clear. So I want to make sure everyone's hearing what you're telling us, your explanation about what you just said to us.
I'm sorry. So, like I said, this will be the first minority-owned medical training center in this area, but we don't exclude anybody else. Um, so it's welcome for women, men, black, white, Asian. Like we don't have the DEI that we're dealing with now that won't be inside of this training center. So it's open for everyone. Please feel free to reach out.
Okay. So, what advice would you give a potential entrepreneur, kind of in the same place as you, somebody that want to kind of get out there? What type of advice would you give them to start?
Just don't take no for an answer. If it's something that you want, you just go do it. I spent so many nights up in my phone, Googling this, researching this. I hate asking people for things, but I ended up reaching out to a few people. Um, and I've got such great feedback. So many people like, hey, I can help you with this. Um, this is what I did with it. Here are some donations. Here are some tips, and just keep going. If it's something you want, you make it happen, and that's just how you got to get it done.
I got you. And for those that are listening, she said networking. You have to network. You ain't bothering nobody. You networking, Miss Wiley. That's what we do. That's how we make this happen. Okay, so before we let you go, what's your preferred method of contact for potential clients? And we want to make sure you give that to our audience. So, you have people all over the world watching you. So if someone want to come to Michigan and receive your services, what's your preferred method of contact?
I would say right now you can inbox me on the Zaylee Alexander Facebook page. You can go to the website, so ZayleeAlexanderCC.com. There is a phone number listed on the website. You can reach out there. All of them come directly to me, so I'm able to reach out to you immediately. I used to have my phone like me all the time, actually. So any method that works best for you. But if you want to DM me on my private page, that's fine. Just want to get the word out, and I want to get this business up and
Okay. So, and I know this is neither here or there. So, what about people who will potentially want to work at your training center? Are we kind of far ahead of that right now, or?
So right now, like I said, I'm just starting up from the ground, so I don't really have too many people working for me. But if you feel like you have certifications and you feel like this is something you want to do, definitely reach out and I can see what we can make happen. I mean, I can't promise you anything right now. I do hope to expand tremendously in the next year. So why not?
Okay, and I know you here. So, for those on the website, does it actually advertise those times of operation where the trainings will be? Like the days and times of the trainings and stuff like that.
So I haven't put it yet. It's kind of broad right now. It just shows you how long the program is, how many days a week it is, and the time length of them. We haven't come up with an actual schedule because there's so many and things like that. So,
All right. Well,
but they
look.
will be posted. They will be posted. I am working on clinical sites. I'm working on externship sites. Um, And it's only one of me. So I'm trying to teach all these classes and get people in to help me. But I promise you they'll be posted very soon. I want to have the doors of this place open within the next month or so.
Absolutely. Hey, I really appreciate you giving us this time. Once again, I'm Dyann Wiley. This is Before the Vision. When you get to call you up, like I say, this is my girl Dyann. I really appreciate you. We gonna continue to follow up on you, see how you doing. Hey, you already know what it is. We go